I'm a little weird today. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, an in crochet designer and yarn dyer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website, blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube, where you can get to know me a little bit better. Today, we are here for episode, shoot, I forgot to look it up. I know that it is February 12th. It is Wednesday, February 12th, but I forgot to look up what number we're on. We're on episode 42 of the podcast, and we are going to talk about a little bit of everything today. Some knitting, some crocheting, some spinning. I do not have fleece stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about books. We're going to talk about what I've been watching. We're going to do a little bit of everything and some admin stuff. It's going to be a busy day. So buckle up, grab a drink, get cozy, grab your project. Let's start by talking about what I'm wearing. This is an unnamed design that I believe I finished last time. Yeah, this was a finished object last time. This is unnamed still. I made it with Monosto Uruguay Marla in the colorway Spices. And it is a design that will be coming probably in the fall. That is the plan as of right now. I'll be making another sample, yada, yada, yada. And of course it needs a name. So keep an eye out for this, but not for probably quite a while. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump right on in to the finished objects. Okay, I only have one finished object today to show you that is knitting or crochet related, and that is this pair of socks. And this was not even a work in progress when you last saw me. I started and finished them completely while we were away from each other. That was a weird way of saying that. Anyway, this is Woolens and Nosh Hawaiian shirt on their DK weight 100% superwash merino base. And okay, we have kind of a lot of things to talk about with this. I'm losing my voice apparently. I like to do my self-striping socks with, I like to just start at the cuff, go, go, go. I pretty much always do my socks cuff down. I go, go, go until I am almost out of yarn. I do my toe and then I cut in for the heel, for an afterthought heel. And what? How are there only 4 minutes left? Hang on a second. Okay, sorry. I was not about to have myself running out of battery when I had recorded like less than 5 minutes. Not battery, memory, whatever. Anyway, let's talk about these socks. So what I typically do when I have a self-striping yarn is I will split the cake up into two 50-gram balls, and then start at the same color on both socks. However, I was pretty disappointed with this skein because the whole thing only weighed 93 grams, which is significant. That 7 grams that was left probably could have given me, or that was missing, probably could have given me like toes on both my socks, so that these could have been at least 2 stripes longer, probably. So I was pretty disappointed. These are pretty short. They're at like a length that I don't really like. They're like not shorties, but they're not like longer socks. I don't know. And then also I like to, okay, so here, let's take this sock. So I start at the top, right? You can see that it goes like light yellow, light pink, dark pink. Then when I cut in for the heel, I go the opposite way, and it usually looks pretty nice. So I started with like dark pink, light pink, dark yellow. And it usually looks pretty good. But I usually have enough wiggle room to kind of pick what stripe I want to start with. So I had no choice because I had not even one single full stripe's worth of color left over from doing both these socks. So I had to use these 3 colors in the heel. So anyway, I kind of hate them. I kind of hate these socks. I also didn't know that the blue was like basically triple the size of the other stripes. It looks really cool in the skein, and I kind of hate them. I also, like, if, for instance, if I had known that the blue was bigger, and if I had more wiggle room within my yarn, I probably would have done a blue cuff or saved the blue for a heel or something. Like, I would have used this so much differently if I had known, but I didn't know the blue was extra long until I'm knitting it, and I was like, this is weird, why is this stripe so much bigger? And then I didn't know if any of the other stripes were the same size, and until I got through them all, and then I realized it's just the blue. So anyway, I really like Woolens and Nosh yarn, but all in all, this project stinks. I hate them. I absolutely hate the way they came out. I hate this like yellow to pink grossness right here. I don't like it. And that's not like against the yarn. It's just not my color vibe. I don't like it. So it's fine. Let's see. I usually use a US 4 for my DK weight socks. I do a 48 stitch circumference. I did 10 rounds for the ribbing. I did an 80 round tube. I decreased to 16 stitches at the toe. I just do a regular wedge toe, decreasing every other round. I picked up, for myself, it is 7.25 inches from the tip of the toe where I cut in. You can see on one of them, there are 2 rounds of the yellow, and on one of them there's 1 round of the yellow. So a little bit off on my making my self striping match perfectly. But so then I did 3 rounds before I picked up for the heel, did 3 rounds straight, and then decreased again, same way every other round until I got to 20 stitches total, and then grafted everything together. That was like a really rapid fire description of my socks. Sorry about that for going so speedy, but anyway, here we are. I hate them. Maybe I'll change my mind once I start wearing them around. And I think also, like, this is so silly, but I've been so excited about them because it was called Hawaiian shirt, and so then I ended up hating the experience, and that just makes me more disappointed about it because I was excited about the Hawaii like reference. Anyway, let's move on because I don't want to start off on a bad foot. So let's move on to other things that I finished this week. The only other things that I finished, well, in the past 2 weeks, is some spins. So this is something that I had started to show you last week, and this I have been calling my odds and ends spin because I was just using up a bunch of stuff. So I had 2 ounces of some random Corriedale that I had played around with and dyed myself a long, long time ago. And then I had, maybe I only had 1 ounce of the Corriedale. I don't know. I haven't actually weighed this. Hang on, I have a scale. I'm a little weird today. A little bit jazzed. I have been mostly drinking decaf coffee lately. For a little while, and I had regular coffee today. Okay, so this is, okay, yeah, this is 2.1 ounces. So I guess I had only I guess I had only 1 ounce of the Corriedale, so whatever. Doesn't matter. This is Corriedale that I dyed myself, and some dark brown Romney, which I never got to say. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess today. I'm interrupting myself all over the place. Corriedale and Romney. I got 245 yards. It's fine. I don't want this, so I will be passing it on or selling it. Then I had some Romney left over, and I had some Shiniko tweed left over from a previous spin, so I applied them together. I got 83 yards. I had like almost nothing left. It was like almost perfect to use both of these up and make this cute little thing. Anyway, both of those I don't want, so they'll be going away. By the way, last week I said I have a basket of hand spun yarn that I want to post and sell, and I'll try and get it posted before this video goes live. It's still not up, but I'm still planning on it. It's just been a little busy. So there's still a bunch of hand spun, and it's still getting added to all the time. The next thing that I finished is big. Is big because it has been ongoing for a very long time, and also because I was being very stubborn about it for a very long time. This is some gross green pukey Corriedale that I got from Lyman's Sleighbell farm in 2023, at Rhinebeck 2023, and I started spinning this on my very first Bosworth spindle that night at Rhinebeck 2023. And I spun 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of it on my spindle over like a long period of time. And then it sat and it sat and it sat. And if you have seen any of my videos talking about projects that I have and works in progress that are lingering, you have seen this before. And I finally decided, screw it, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I started spinning the rest of it on my electric eel wheel because I was so committed to, I really wanted to I really wanted to finish what I had started and keep going on my drop spindle, but I just wasn't having fun with it. I had no interest in working on it. I just didn't want to do it. So like 4 ounces, I know people do huge spins on drop spindles or supported spindles, and one day that's the dream. But for me, 4 ounces of a solid color on a drop spindle was too much. So I split the rest of it up, just eyeballed it, split it in half, put it on one bobbin, put half on one bobbin, half on the other, started applying it together, and then I added in, my neighbor just walked outside and I feel like they can see me. This is awkward. Anyway, I applied that, and then I added in what I had done on my drop spindle. So I posted this really funny picture on Instagram that I will put here, and you can so clearly tell, this is before the yarn was soaked, you can tell what part I had done recently, because it's way more balanced, and then the part that's all like squiggly is the part that I had done on my drop spindle. So it was very, just the tension was like a little bit off on that. And like that is not necessarily saying that the yarn is bad, because sometimes before it is soaked and the twist has been set, yarn can look wild. But then magic happens after you soak it and you set the twist, because now it looks great. There's like, Where did it go? I lost it. I lost it. I don't know. I would say there's probably like maybe 3 to 5 yards of yarn in here that are not the best, that are a little bit unbalanced, or maybe like not plied as nicely as it could be. But they're like, it's like, I don't know, 50 yards and then like 3 bad yards and then the rest of the yardage. So I didn't want to like wind it off and cut it out. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the decision I decided to make because it's good now. It's like really good now. Really good yarn. So anyway, this is 426 yards. It came out to a really nice, I'd say like a plump fingering weight. I have not done reps per inch yet, but anyway, it's really nice. And I like it. I kind of love this pukey green color, but I don't know if I want to keep this or not. I'm not sure. We'll see. I need to make a decision about that because I have not yet added it into my stash or like added it into the I'm gonna sell this pile. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do? Keep it? Sell it? Do you want it? Okay. That's all we have for work. Nope. For finished objects. I'm a mess. That's all we have for finished objects. Let's talk about works in progress. Okay, we are going to start with a work in progress that is sad and then move into happier ones to lift up my spirits a little bit. This is my C Street dress that I am designing. It is a crochet design using my own colorway from my Thanksgiving collection, and this is Thank Your, and it's lovely. Focus. There we go. So if you were here last time, you might be saying, MC, that looks different than last time. In fact, it looks a little shorter than last time. You would be correct. Last time that I spoke to you, I was almost done with my waist decreases. I had just a couple more rounds to do before my waist decreases were done, and I started increasing for my hips. And then I decided I don't like it. I don't like the way it's fitting. I don't like what was happening. Things were off. I had to redo some stuff, rejudge some things with the pattern because I'm trying to be more accepting of the fact that sometimes you have to rip things out in order to get what you want. I used to be someone that would plow through even though I knew I didn't like it, and I would plow through it and I'd finish it, and then I would never wear the thing because I didn't like it, because I knew I wasn't gonna like it. And then I just had a thing that I didn't like. So I'm trying to get more accepting of ripping things out, and I just was not happy with how this was looking. I like tried it on 8 million times. I slept on it. I was like talking to people about it, and I just wasn't happy with the fit. So I ripped it all the way back to joining in the round at the armpits. So this is where the join for the round is at the armpits. This is a stitch marker by my friend Wendy of Warm Stripes. And that has been here for a while. And then there were several more inches below, and I put in another stitch marker, and then I had to take it out because I ripped the whole thing out. I ripped out about a skein's worth, about 1 fingering weight skein's worth of yarn. And it was really sad. And I am not caught up, and I am sad about it, and that's okay. So I have this other stitch marker, another one from Wendy. I'm pretty sure this is the other one I added on last time. This is a little squig, and I am going to add it on here. I'm sorry if you can hear Shandy snoring. I'm gonna add my little squig on so that we can check our progress for next time. I'm really hoping that by next time you see me, let's see, let's take a look at yeah. I'm hoping that by next time you see me, I just have to do trim. I hope the body of the dress is done, but I don't know. I really want to get it done by the end of the month. I don't know if it's gonna happen because this is really sad, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, keep trying to do a little bit every night. I haven't been able to work on it in a couple of days, unfortunately, because my wrist has really been acting up. It's fine. It just gives me trouble every once in a while. And then, I don't know, I'm having a little bit of a flare up of pain. My hands have been sore. My wrist has been acting up. I don't know. So I haven't worked on this in a couple days, but I got to get back to it. Let's move on to happier things. This is my Pillars Pullover by Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted, and it's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love everything about it. So let's talk about this really quickly. Okay, hang on. I am using, now my battery's dying. Are you kidding me? Apparently I was very, very unprepared for filming today. Okay, I think we're good. We might have moved again, whatever. This is my Pillars Pullover. I am using a US 9, which I believe is one size larger than the pattern calls for. I'm making the 44-inch bust, which will give me, why is that not so hard? 8 inches of positive ease. Roughly, I think my gauge is maybe not exactly spot on, but it's very, very close. So I am using a one-of-a-kind skein of Sari alpaca lace weight yarn, which is from the Little Wolf Knits on her buoy base. And then I am using some tester skeins of FOX, which is one of my current colorways, on my For Sure fingering. This is showing up super orange on camera right now, and this is a tiny bit lighter than what FOX ended up being in the end. Oh, sorry, everywhere. But I'm holding these two together, and it is making the most beautiful combination of yarn, and I just love it. I cannot wait to wear this. So last time, I was right here where this little birdie is. Can you sense a theme? This is a Porcelain Progress Keeper little birdie from my friend Wendy of Warm Stripes. And I was right here. I added about even less than an inch before I started the front ribbing. I did this front ribbing. I did the back ribbing, which is a longer. And I picked up and started a sleeve. And I am, oh my God, I'm covered. I'm going to take my little birdie and move it onto the sleeve. I am done with my sleeve decreases, done with the whole sleeve, everything. I need to now do the ribbing for the sleeve. So I'm going to add my little progress keeper on here to keep track of where I am, although I'm pretty dang positive that by the next time you see me, this will be done. And now I'm feeling like I said that last time. Maybe I didn't. There's stuff everywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. I might have to take a break in a second and deal with this. I have to do my ribbing. I have to do my ribbing for this first sleeve and then do my second sleeve, and then I am done. So, oh, I also added on the neckband since the last time you saw this. So I cannot wait to get done with this. I'm hoping to finish it very, very soon. Basically, I'm hoping to finish, call me a liar. My plan, if the rest of my day goes according to plan, my plan is to finish the ribbing for sleeve 1 today, and then jump into sleeve 2 tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see. Anyway, okay, sorry for all the noise. I'm gonna desurify my face and then come back with my last work in progress. Okay, that's better. Oh my God, is it not better? There we go. Okay, we're really good now. I had like 4 pieces of suri stuck in my eyelashes. I could barely see you, but now we're ready to move on. I only have one other work in progress, and this is a new cast on. And so basically what happened is the other day, my husband and I were gonna watch a movie. So we've been doing Sunday night movie night, but the Super Bowl was this past Sunday, and we decided we were gonna have like a super lazy, awesome day, and we were gonna watch the movie in the afternoon and then watch the Super Bowl. But my wrist was starting to hurt. Everything was starting to get achy. That's when this started happening, was on this past Sunday. And I was like, this sucks. Like, movie and Super Bowl, that is prime knitting time, or crocheting or spinning or whatever. And I didn't want to work on the small circumference of my sleeve for the Pillars pullover because that sometimes can aggravate my wrist, small circumferences after a while. So I was trying to be easy on it. I didn't want to crochet because that aggravates my wrist, so I wanted to be easy on it. And sometimes when I'm spinning, I wasn't done with this yet, but sometimes spinning can aggravate my wrist. So I was like, I just need like some very simple, straightforward stockinette. I was like having a little bit of a breakdown, jokingly, but I didn't know what to do. And I really wanted to keep working on the projects that I was working on, but it was like, I knew it would be a bad decision to keep working on them because I knew it was going to end up causing me more pain, just based on past experience. So I cast on something new, and what I cast on is not very impressive at the moment, but it is the E Street sweater by Brie of Little Wolf Knits. It is a drop shoulder sweater that has like some slits at the top of the sleeves, and I am using FOX, which again is coming out really, really orange. It's definitely, I feel like that's more accurate. That's more accurate of what it looks like. It's coming across really orange on screen, but it's like the color of a fox. So I'm using FOX to make this. I only have a couple inches of the back panel done. I just worked on this on Sunday, and that's it. That's it. This will be kind of a slow project, I think, that I work through. I definitely want to prioritize the Pillars pullover, although I do have to keep an eye on my wrist. I obviously want to prioritize the C Street dress, although I have to keep an eye on my wrist. Oh, whoops, forgot a progress keeper. And then I have some other things coming up soon. So this is going to be a little bit slower, and I'm going to put it on hold a couple of times as I work through it, but I still love it. And I am putting on a progress keeper from Stacy of Bah Humble. It's just this little, whoops, a little ball. Cute. So I'm gonna put that on there. There we go. Okay, now let's talk really quickly about some admin things. Okay, there's not much to talk about admin-wise. I don't have anything new in the shop. The Thanksgiving collection is still live, still will be live for a while. Some other colorways are also still live. You can get them whenever you want. But I actually did like some organization in the shop. So there is now a sale section, and I still have suri on me. There's now a sale section on the website, and there are a lot of things on sale right now. I still have some stuff using my old label, and I don't want to change them and waste the old labels and spend the time adding new labels to these things. So everything with an old label is on sale. Let's see, what else did I do on? Oh, okay. That's the only thing that has been added to the website so far. I did technically add a hand spun section, but there's nothing in it yet because I haven't posted any of the hand spun yet. I still need to take pictures of all of it, which is my plan for this week. I swear, I promise. Other things that have happened is I posted a video making these Hawaiian shirt socks. It was kind of a 1 week, one skein video, but it was also just a knit with me. I put on some music and I just showed myself going through and working on it. It did not go over well. It is one of my worst performing videos ever. And like, I don't say that as a complaint. Like there's always going to be a worst performing video. Like to have a best performing video, you have to have a worst performing video, you know? So it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it's like, I don't say that as a complaint. I say that as kind of a segue into the next thing that we're talking about, which is I sent out a survey to my newsletter to ask a little bit more about what you are looking for from me. So I initially sent it out to my newsletter, but then I also ended up posting the link to it on Instagram to get a bigger pool of people. And then I also posted it to my YouTube channel page thing. So I posted the link there. I will also put the link in the description box so that if you would like to help me out, you can do that. It's 11 questions. None of them are required. So if you want to skip any, you can. They're all things about the newsletter, what you're looking for from me, what you want to see from me, various things like that. They're easy questions. Like I said, you don't have to answer anything that you don't want to. I am not taking anything to heart. I have so far about a quarter of the people that are saying they're just on the newsletter because they wanted the coupon code, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I just want to know that information. I don't care what the results are. So anyway, the point is, please, if you have 2 minutes to spare, could you click on the link in the description and let me know what you think of all of those questions. And once you submit your answers, you will get a coupon code to use on Ravelry for any one of my patterns. I will probably be closing the survey in a couple of days. So if you are watching this after February like 17th, I would say, I'm probably going to have closed the survey by then because I want to then take some time to analyze the data and make whatever changes in the newsletter or channel or wherever I post things that I need to. So thank you all so much for your help so far. Let's see. How many do I have so far? I have 81 responses so far, which is fantastic. So much more than I expected, if I'm being completely honest. And I would love even more. It is so helpful. It has already gotten my wheels turning so much. So thank you all to everyone who has already answered. Okay. That's all we have for admin. Let's talk about some life things. And we're going to do a little speed round of some stuff. So part of the survey and something that I've been talking with a couple people about and gotten some feedback from a lot of you about is the life type things that I talk about in the podcast and like what I'm watching, what I'm reading, that kind of stuff, and how you want that information presented to you. So people suggested that I start including it a little bit in the podcast. So we're going to try that. We're going to do it. And we're going to do a speed round to catch ourselves up on what we missed so far for this year. So I'm going to scooch over so that I can post some pictures here. We're going to talk about what I read in January. I have my computer here in front of me, so I'm just going to read from it, and we're going to do like 1-sentence reviews and my rating. Maybe not 1 sentence, I'm not good at that. But my rating and very, very brief thoughts on it. Okay, so first up, in January, I read Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. This is the third, I think, book in the Murderbot series. Loved the first book. The others have been fine. I gave it 3 stars. Pretty unmemorable. Didn't feel as funny as the other books. Next, I read Fair Play by Eve Rodsky, which is a nonfiction about basically the, oh gosh, what's it called? Like the mental labor that women hold more than men usually in relationships. Stuff like that. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was interesting. It had a lot of information in it, but a vast majority of the book was centered around organizing children in your life, and I don't have those, so, you know. Next, I read The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulik. I think that's how you say it. 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Had a good time. Not the best book ever, but I had a lot of fun listening to it. Next, I read How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. This is the first book in a new series. 5 stars. Fantastic. Loved it. Highly recommend. If you read it, please talk to me about it. I can't wait for the next book. Really loved what was done with that book. It is a murder mystery, but kind of cozy and amazing. Next, I read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. 3 stars. Too many characters, too many points of view that weren't easily distinguishable enough, so I kept forgetting who I was listening to and who was talking and who did what, and honestly at the end of it I had to look up what happened at the end because I was confused and I didn't even remember because the characters all muddled together in my head. Couldn't tell you what it's about. Already gone. Next, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. 3.5 stars. My favorite Riley Sager book so far, but I still hate Riley Sager, so next, hey look, a physical copy. I read Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. Oh, I was so disappointed in this, and I'm disappointed that I was disappointed. It was good. I see the point. I just went into it thinking it was going to be a lot more of a sci-fi adventure based on what I've heard about Octavia E. Butler. And it's a great book. It's an important book. I think in another time and place, I would have loved it a lot more. So I'm sad that I didn't like it, or that I didn't love it. 3 stars, mainly just because I see how important it is, but I honestly hated every moment that I was reading it, unfortunately. Okay, let's move into February. I have read Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, and you might be going, whoa, MC, you read a romantasy book? Yes, I did. I actually really like this series, except for with each book, it's becoming more romance and less fantasy, in my opinion. I'm here for the dragons. The ending of the book was great. Won't talk about much because it's the 3rd book in the series. 3 stars. Then I just finished the other day The Age of Magical Overthinking by Amanda Montell. 3.5 stars. It was fine. I highly recommend Amanda Montell's last book, which was called Cultish. So good, so informative. This is nonfiction, by the way. Really, really good. Really interesting. This book had a lot of interesting things about it. But it also had like a significant amount that was like more memoir than nonfiction research book. And I didn't really care about the memoir thing. Like, sorry, I'm sure you're a nice person, but I'm here for the info. So there was some good stuff, but also some But it's also pretty short, so yeah. And then that's all I have read so far in February. I am currently reading Another physical one, Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This I think is like a young adult or middle grade book. I don't even know. I'm not very far. I have a donut bookmark that my cousin got me, and it's fine so far. I don't know. I'm only this far into it. I am also reading Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. I'm almost done with that, and I am quite enjoying it so far. Probably not going to be a favorite or standout book of the year, but good, very enjoyable. And then I'm also currently reading Cast On Kill Off, which is the 10th book in the knitting murder mystery series. I forget. Oh, by Maggie Sefton. Sorry, I don't have that written down. By Maggie Sefton. And I have slowly read through a lot of these books. I've read a bunch of them out of order, so I started again at the beginning a long time ago. Took a very long break and finally decided, okay, MC, let's get this going. Let's finish this series off. So I'm listening to that. It's fine. It's enjoyable. I don't think my least favorite of the series so far. I'm about halfway through. So, okay, that's where I'm at with books. Now that we're caught up with books, moving forward, it can be a little bit calmer and I won't be like spitfire yelling book titles at you. So hopefully next time I can catch you up on any of the ones that I'm currently reading that I have finished and talk to you about anything new that I've started, and we'll be a little calmer. In terms of what we have been watching, we unfortunately we wanted to watch the most recent Tom Holland Spider-Man, which I forget the name of. Something home, Far From Home, No Way Home, whatever the most recent one is. And it's not available unless you purchase it on streaming. And I don't want to do that. So we decided to skip it. I might see if the library has it or something like that. We decided to skip it and we started Venom. And I loved it. I loved it. We watched the first one so far. Loved it. I feel like, what's his name? Eddie Brock? Is that his name? The Venom, the guy that gets infected with Venom, is such a relatable character. He's just like a normal dude, and I loved it. It was very funny. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the series. And then other than that, we watched the Super Bowl, which was an interesting, kind of boring, but good-ish game. And that's about it. I spent a lot of time the past couple of weeks watching a lot of tutorials for a new program that I'm trying to learn how to use for work stuff. So even like time that I was sitting down and like might have thrown on a YouTube video or an episode of something, I was just watching tutorials. So it's been a little bit boring and educational around here, which is fine, because I like learning things. So anyway, I think that might be all that we have to talk about today. Shani is unhappy with my talking and waking her up. I'm pretty sure that's everything we have to talk about today. So please, a reminder, go fill out the survey. If you haven't already, I would be forever grateful. And also, hey, while you're down there, you could maybe subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, tell me whatever you like. And that's it. That's all we got for today. So until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.